I'm here with Kubri. He's the filmmaker behind a short film, Travel Love.
Yes.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you. Really, really excited to be here in Nice. My first time in France.
Wow, and are you enjoying it?
I'm loving it. I'm soaking up every moment. I tried learning some French before coming here using Duolingo, but all I have down now are the colors and some animals, some of the greetings. But it's okay. My Spanish helps me get through.
Oh right, okay, yeah, because lots of Spanish speakers. So tell me about Travel Love. What is the basis of the story? Because it's kind of a music. Well, you explain it, please.
So I'm Kubri, un hombre artístico from San Francisco, California.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds really sexy and cool.
I'm a artistic creative person from San Francisco, California.
Yeah.
And my project is a musical miniseries about my story moving to Latin America from San Francisco after the election of Donald Trump.
So you went the other way. Well, you went south, didn't you? Basically. So do you still live there? Have you come back? So where are you now based?
So as I mentioned in the first part of the film.
Yeah, I've seen the film, but it was a little while ago. Sorry, forgive me.
I was born and raised in San Francisco.
Yeah.
I grew up in California. I'm a California boy through and through. That's why I'm a hip hop artist, I think, because of all the hip hop influences from my region. Yeah. And after, there's a couple of things that are happening in the U.S. that just led to me deciding to stay in Latin America was the best choice.
And I assume one of those, as you touched upon, is the election of Donald Trump.
Right, yeah.
And this is part of a series, I think you said, isn't it?
So what I did with this project, I wanted to showcase all of my range of abilities. I'm an actor, and a recording artist, and I produced some plays in Nicaragua when I was working with the Peace Corps out there teaching English.
Oh, you worked with the Peace Corps? Wow.
Yeah, in Nicaragua, I was there for 2 years, and that's what got me to include Nicaragua in some of the film.
Yeah, yeah.
And I wanted to tell a story that was engaging and relevant, so that's why I brought in the whole Trump element to it.
So I can I can totally understand. I'm just trying to imagine how you already know what you want, the purpose of the story, but I suppose then you've got to get the content for the story, haven't you? So you might have this like lovely ethereal idea, but do you then start looking for inspiration? Have you kind of got an idea of the direction you want to go in? So does that kind of make sense? Sorry.
This project was inspired by my life experiences. It's like a docu-fiction.
Yeah, yeah.
So my direct life experiences living in Nicaragua for 2 years, integrating, basically being adopted by the Nicaraguan family.
Yeah.
Learning Spanish, having relationships out there. All that inspired many of my songs, which are part of the project.
So I guess I've sort of explained myself quite badly. I guess what I mean is, or the question what I'm trying to ask is, did you kind of know, you pretty much had the content in your head before you even started making the film? That's what I guess I'm getting at. So whereas I might talk to another filmmaker and they have an idea and they say, we had the idea, but then we needed some kind of inspiration or something to spark that. But it sounds to me like you already kind of knew what was going to go into the film before you made it. That's probably the question I'm asking, really.
Yeah, this project, which I guess I should explain, it's published on YouTube. You can watch it now on YouTube.
Yeah, it's really lovely. It's filmed really well, actually, I have to say. It's got a lovely look to it.
In 10 episodes, so it's bite-sized chunks that you can enjoy, in your own time. And I also submitted a film festival version, which is the one we showed here in Nice, which is like a way to watch the whole story in one sitting. So basically, many of the scenes, the footage I took from San Francisco, from Nicaragua, Mexico, those were footage I had taken over the past decade. There's a poem in the first part of it that I performed at UC San Diego 10 years ago. So it's kind of like my life story, life experiences that really molded this production. But also some of the songs were inspired last year when I was just, creating the film. So some of it were written, and some of the songs and poems were written 4 years ago, and some were written the same month that I was filming the new content.
Yeah, all right, okay. So it was kind of coming, you had it and then you could build as you went along, I guess.
Yeah, and it was exciting, exhilarating to just be able to put this together and then share it, you know, in the whole series format. I think that was interesting for the public because especially Latin American audiences, they love telenovelas. So they love this,
I know what you mean, yeah.
It made it a better way to consume music than just to listen to an album and forget again. You know, it made it like more of an interesting concept.
Yeah, because I mean, you're a cool guy. I can see where, you know, this kind of inspirations come from and how you would thread it together. But of course, the big advantage is you were already doing this kind of stuff anyway, so you're just bringing it to your story to film anyway. I know you've been involved in it. How did it feel? How much of a gut punch was it to leave San Francisco and go south? Because I'm guessing you didn't. I don't want to say you didn't really want to do it. I don't honestly know. I mean, what was it like? How difficult was it to leave and leave where you're basically living?
Well, I think so. In general, I love learning about other cultures. I'm multi-ethnic.
Yeah.
I have heritage from 3 different civilizations, you know.
I guess what I'm saying is, sorry, San Francisco is your base, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
and then you moved
I'm really
away from
interested in traveling, and that's why the project is called Travel.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I completely understand how some people think, why would you go to one of the poorest countries in the Western Hemisphere for 2 years to work there? And the reason is because I really wanted to learn Spanish and become fluent in Spanish.
Right,
And
okay.
so that's why I accepted the invitation to work in Nicaragua, and that's why I viewed it so valuable to have the chance to go there and get the training, the great training that the Peace Corps offers, and integrate with the Latin American culture in that country, and also help people. I really want to, not just as a filmmaker, but as an educator.
As a human, yeah.
I really like motivating people to express themselves and inspire people. Doesn't matter what station of life you come from, like you can always have hope and move forward. And also, I think it's healthy to get out of your comfort zone and have that kind of immigrant mindset where you're constantly challenged by new things, new cultural language things that you have to get used to, and that just makes you grow and evolve even more. That's why I love traveling and moving to different places.
And it's a fantastic opportunity as well, to be fair, isn't it?
Even though you have to sacrifice the amenities of warm showers and like I had to take bucket showers with cold water in my first 3 months in Nicaragua.
And what was it like seeing that? I assume the level of poverty that you saw. I mean, how much, if indeed you saw that, I'm sure you did, but how was that affecting? You know, when you saw people, because let's be honest, whatever your lifestyle was in San Francisco, I'm quite sure that in comparison to Nicaragua, it's a whole, as it is for us in the UK, because it is, like I say, it's a really poor country. So did that affect you as a person when you saw that level of poverty?
I think when I had a chance to live in Egypt during my undergrad for a year, and that was my first time living in a less developed country where half of the population makes $2 a day. So that was my first...
It's extraordinary when you think of that, isn't it?
My first experience really having to live with it on a day-to-day basis and just see that people get by with so little. But Nicaragua, the beautiful thing there is that people have very little in terms of cash, but they're very happy.
Their happiness level,
their life.
Yeah. Very much like India. I know it's the same thing that in certain parts of India, people have very little, but they're very
really
happy.
Content with if they have a family, a roof over their head, and their gallo pinto, their daily food. That's all they need in life. They have different priorities than Americans, for example, who are very work focused, and they're all about, the rat race and getting ahead and But now just have to mention this. Now, in the past couple weeks, the situation in Nicaragua has changed drastically.
For the better
politically.
or worse?
I mean, it's a very complicated situation. There's basically been a revolt due to some policies by the government, and then there was severe repression as a result of the protests. So my prayers for everyone out in Nicaragua.
Of course, yeah. And were you personally, were there any personal situations which were, how can I put this, a little bit hair-raising for you? Did you have any strange encounters that were a bit, does that kind of make sense?
I did have some interesting experiences, and actually my play that I produced there called Almost Full of Glory, which you can also watch online, it talks about some of the street experiences that might go on there.
That you personally know?
I witnessed, and
right.
I mean, they're inspired by events I saw. But in general, it's a very peaceful place. I really enjoyed my time there. And I mean, you have to, when you're living in another country, you just have to be a survivor. You have to learn to adapt, be humble, listen, observe, and respond the best you can to the circumstances, to the cards that you're dealt.
Would you go back if you had the chance?
I just went back, actually.
Oh, have you?
I was just there last month. I was received very well. This project was received really well. I was invited to 3 national television stations, and they played the single from the project, Fuego.
Fantastic.
And got in the national newspaper, La Prensa. So I was really excited. And I think they were happy to see their landscapes on film.
Yeah.
And the fact I'm now sharing it at an international level here in Europe, and that I really connected with their love for poetry. For example, Ruben Darío, he's one of the great Spanish poets. He's from Nicaragua, and I think every Nicaraguan can recite a poem of his. So I wanted to include my lyricism and poetry in this project, inspired by my time in Nicaragua.
And with Travel Love, the project you were putting together, the whole series, has the net result, the end result, I know it's a series, but has the overall, excuse me, has the overall project turned out to be how you hoped it would be? Or is it more than, or, so what sort of level are you at with this whole project now?
Well, I mean, the whole thing's been very exciting. I feel really honored and pleased that this project has been selected by your festival, and the fact that it's just allowing me to get into these spaces to meet with filmmakers and professionals in film who are also passionate about telling stories and showing scenes and situations and landscapes from all over the world, from different cultures and countries. So for me, it's been a great success. And I look forward to using everything I learned from the experience of this like kind of ultra low budget independent filmmaking, where I got all my friends together from all over Latin America, from Europe and Mexico, who were studying abroad in Mexico, to get in my videos and sing my songs and enjoy the whole experience, who forgave me when I was doing my first party video shoot for Fuego, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and you just have to learn by experience.
Yeah, of course you do.
So I just decided to just go with it, and here I am. And I'm really looking forward to my next project. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to turn out in terms of what format, if it'll be a feature or another continuation of the series.
Yeah.
But it'll be a fun project for sure.
Brilliant. Thank you, Kubrick. You seem a very happy man. Very content man, actually. Thank you.